Alexey Gotovsky. This is Ulf Silfverling from EWTN Sweden. And we have met sometimes in EWTN in Rome. And I know that you are from Kazakhstan. And the Holy Father will go on Thursday to your home country. So therefore I would like to ask you some questions for the Nordic people. Can you tell us something about your background? What I found out is that you grew up in Kazakhstan, but you are also from a Catholic family. Is it like that?
The Pope goes actually already on Tuesday, and on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday we will be back, and I have a great privilege to go back with the Holy Father to visit my country. And I'm not traditionally Catholic, so people in Kazakhstan, majority of people of Kazakhstan are professing Islam. And another part, like people with a Russian ethnicity, I come from Russian ethnicity, Russian people profess Russian Orthodoxy. So I was baptized in the Russian Orthodox faith. And when I was 8 years old, with my sister, we started to go to the Catholic Church. And let's say through sisters that give us catechism on Sunday, we slowly started to, became Catholics, because then my parents had to bring us to the church for the catechism and also attend Mass. We also had like a small miracle for our family when I was 8 years old. My mom, she was pregnant with my sister Maria, and she was born prematurely. So she was born as a 7 month baby, and that was a very difficult moment for my family, and especially for my mom, when the doctors told that they don't know if the baby will survive. So they told that only miracle can help. So that moment, my mom started to pray rosary and ask Our Lady to help my little sister. And so she survived, and now she had just birthday yesterday. She's now 23 years old. And this small miracle for us was a very big sign, and we were very grateful to Our Lady, and we started to go to the Catholic Church. So that was kind of a first step for us.
Very interesting. Now it's a very multi-ethnical society now, Kazakhstan, with many different people and religions as well. What I understand is that there are some 20-30% Christians, but only a few percent of Catholics. So how did you do with the school? Was it a private school, or did you go to public school just?
You're right. Kazakhstan is a multicultural society, and Kazakhstan came out from the Soviet Union just 30 years ago. And when I was attending the school, it was a moment when Kazakhstan became a new country with a lot of freedoms. And one of the freedom also was the freedom of religion. So we were at school. I was going to the public school, but in school, everyone believed in God. And even our teachers, they were telling us about God, and they were not against God, because it was a moment when people were looking for something which was beyond material. In the Soviet Union, people were taught that God does not exist, but people were looking for something divine, something spiritual. And that moment, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, it was a big spiritual void in the hearts of people. And so in that moment, people were looking for something divine. This is why me going to the school, there was no problem in school, and neither with my friends. Not everyone were going to church or believed in God, but everyone respected those who were believers, who believed in God.
I read that Kazakhstan is the 9th biggest country in the world. I was surprised I didn't know anything about the ninth biggest country in the world to area then. So,
Yes.
and it's interesting that you say that there was no problem with the faith in God and so on, even if you have both Orthodox Muslims and Catholics. But I heard also that you became altar servant. Wasn't like that? You served the altar.
Yes, I did become altar servant almost right at the moment when we started to go to the church. I wanted to go and serve Mass as other boys were doing, and my friends, that I got a lot of friends in the parish, and so I also wanted to serve at the altar. And I remember I went to talk with the parish priest, and I was 8 years old, and I asked him, Father, can I go and serve the Mass? And then he looked at me and said, you can do it only after the first communion. So I had to wait 1 year, attend the Sunday school, receive the first communion, and then became altar servant, and which I enjoyed a lot. And it was something very special for me to do so.
And how did it happen that you found EWTN? When?
When I was 22, I went to Rome to study, and I've been studying at the University of the Holy Cross. I've been studying communications, and at the same time I was working at Centro San Lorenzo. It is a youth center here in Rome, established by Pope John Paul II. And I remember it was the moment of the World Youth Days in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, when EWTN Troop came to the center, and they were asking, do you know anyone who is going to the World Youth Day, because we would like to interview him. Mm-hmm. And so I told them, I'm going to World Youth Days. And then I remember it was Alan, our previous bureau chief, and we were talking, and then he told me, oh, Alexey, you're studying communications, and if you would like, you can do your internship with us at our office. And so a few years passed. I was finishing my school, the university, and I remember about the offer, and so I came to EWTN and I asked if I could do my internship. And so this is how my beautiful story started, and I'm so proud that I actually have started working at EWTN in 2016, and there were a few months still when Mother Angelica was alive, so she could not speak. I have never seen her, but I started to work at EWTN at the moment when Mother Angelica was with us here, and so it's been already 6 years, 6 beautiful years that I've been working here in Rome for EWTN.
You didn't think that you had a vocation to become priest before?
I did think so. I did think from my childhood, and it was a little bit of moment for me to discern if I should become a priest or not. And I can say that I was open for this offer, but for this calling. But I also wanted to study and to learn a little bit life, how it is, to see how life is, and to prove if that is calling for me. And last year I met a beautiful lady from Hungary, and she also works at EWTN, and so we decided to get married next year. So I think I have found my thank you, my vocation in married life, and I'm very happy.
So you have seen actually EWTN, at least Rome, to grow. I heard you are 35 employed now, are you? And
we're a very big team, yes.
So you have seen during 6-7 years the growth, and I guess you have traveled a lot also to with the Pope and with other journeys. So what are most important experiences of these years with EWTN in Rome?
Yes, during these 6 years, our office grew tremendously, and we started in actually in different office with few people. Now we have grown so much, and it's a big joy to see that EWTN grows here in Rome. And there's so many beautiful people working from here, and it is like a small, United Nations, because there are so many different people, the Italians, Americans, and me from Kazakhstan, and people from Spain, and people from Mexico, and it is a great privilege to work here with all of these people. And for me, the most remarkable experience working here has been a trip with the Holy Father to Iraq. So it was last year, March of last year, during a pandemic, and it was my first papal trip. And I think the moment when Pope Francis entered the Cathedral of Baghdad, and people started to shout out of joy, and that was a super deep and strong moment, because I have seen the joy of the people. I experienced it, and how important for them to be Catholics, and how important to them to believe what Catholic Church says, and also to obey to the Holy Father. So for them, the figure of the Holy Father, what I could feel that it was very important. The Christians suffered so much, and I'm sure that there were so many tears. But at that moment, when Pope Francis entered the gates of the church, people start to shout with the tears of joy, and that was very special and very strong for me. Also, to see the Holy Father talking to them, and to see how important for him was to visit very, very small flock of Christians, Catholics in Iraq. It was something very strong for me, and also edifying for my own faith. I think I might have this similar experience in Kazakhstan, because in Kazakhstan we are just 1% of total population of 18 million people in Kazakhstan, and Pope Francis has chosen time to go and visit Kazakh Catholics in Kazakhstan, even though we're a very, very little minority. Holy Father is also, his health is not very strong, he has some pain in his knee, but he has decided to go and visit the church there. It is something very special.
And it is where you grew up, so it must be very special for you also. And what you tell us about now is that we should actually be grateful for we are privileged here in the Nordic countries. We are not many Catholics, but as for me, for example, I have 5 minutes to the cathedral, to the Holy Mass. And well, some people up in the north, many have far more long distance to the church, and few priests, few parishes. But anyway, we don't have war, and we are not persecuted. That I think those experiences you have maybe give you a thought about how privileged you are also in Rome, of course. So
yes, and also I've been privileged also growing up in Kazakhstan at the time when the persecution of Christians have finished. I heard terrible, difficult stories from Christians there, because they're still alive and they've been suffering, for many years in Kazakhstan. But I had this privilege also to grow, even in a small minority, but very strong Catholic minority in Kazakhstan, and then sure to arrive to Rome, to the heart of the church, where you look at the left or right side, everyone is Catholic. It is something special.
Alexey, thank you very much to talk to you, and we wish you a interesting journey with the Holy Father. Will you go with his aeroplane or with his flight?
Yes, Ulf, we are going to be around 60 journalists inside of the papal flight. So hopefully there will be possibility to meet him personally and to have a few words with him as well, yes.
So maybe we finish here because it's the birthday of Our Lady today. And there is actually
Yeah.
a Holy Mass here. So thank you very much, Alexey Gotovsky.
Thank you, Ulf.
And have a good journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ulf, and have a good feast of the Nativity of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Thank you.
Bye.